So the reason why I am making a video about this experience for me is because I choose to live my life in peace, and I refuse to live in fear. For those of you who have been watching my Snapchat, you kind of already know about this. If you don't watch my Snapchats, then you're first hearing about this situation. And the situation is that I had a stalker come to my house more than one time over the course of 4 or 5 years, and just this past weekend he tried to come again and he was arrested. Wow, it feels really difficult to say that. So those of you may hear in my voice that I sound a little bit like a man right now. I'm not sick. I actually lost my voice this past weekend. I woke up on Sunday morning and my whole body, I was in sweats all over my body from all of the emotion involved in the situation, and I completely lost my voice for a little bit more than a day. And it wasn't until I decided to start talking about it and talking about my feelings in this situation that I started to get my voice back. And another reason why I'm making this video is because I feel it is important for me to speak up, voice my opinion on the important things of this scenario and this situation, and I really hope that I get all of your support here. It really means a lot to me. There are a lot of people on this planet. Not everybody is 100% with it. Not everybody celebrates boundaries the same. Not everybody will respect you or your space or your time or your boundaries. Not everybody is going to see you in the same light that they see themselves. And in those moments, that's when you have to say, it's okay. I'm okay with setting a boundary. I'm okay with standing up for myself. I'm okay with loving another person from a distance, forgiving them, forgiving yourself, and having enough respect for yourself to say that it's okay for me to go through this, to forgive, and to move forward with love, and to keep living my life the way that I best see fit. Hope that makes sense. Let's get into the story and what happened. So I would say about 4 or 5 years ago, I started getting emails from an anonymous person online. Out of respect for this person, no names will be mentioned. And this hasn't been my only person. I do just want to say that I have gotten some other really crazy messages online. There are some other really creepy ones that I'm taking care of right now. But this one has been a special case because it's been going on for a few years, and I received things in the mail. For instance, I don't know how this person got my address, but has sent me weird cryptic things in the mail multiple times, like handwritten things, multiple love letters, creepy emails, written out the alphabet of different letters, talked about the apocalypse, drawn things in here that make absolutely no sense whatsoever. All of these words, I don't know what they mean, but they apparently were meant to express someone's undying love for me. Is this creepy? It's a little bit unusual. Let's say that that's a little unusual. I don't know what this is a map to. I think it's a treasure chest. Violet Dancer's Tribe. Monsters. Questions, quests. Alphabetized. Words that mean something to this person. Many inappropriate emails have been sent over the course of the past few years from this person. I don't always answer my emails. I have people who help me with that, and we have folders of emails that this has happened to. And A few years ago when I went to the Woodstock Fruit Festival, I was emceeing the festival, this person came. They came to see me and told me the day that we were getting married and the names of our 3 children. And when I expressed to him that I chose not to be with him, he kind of tried to throw me in the lake and became very emotional. He was escorted out of the Woodstock Fruit Festival by the police. Keep in mind, this was like 4 or 5 years ago. That was a scary enough experience in and of itself for me. A few years later, this person showed up on my doorstep. He came to my house. I do live in a protected community, so this person actually had to jump the wall, a brick wall and a fence, to get to my house. Luckily, my family wasn't home. I was not home. However, I did get emails of this person describing my house to me and how, he wished he could have gone inside and held my hand and all of these creepy things that I choose to forget for the rest of my life. This person also came to volunteer at my co-op. Me seeing him after all of this, I chose to keep my distance. And I somehow talked myself into believing that he was harmless and that this was okay for him to volunteer and help the community. And I definitely lied to myself in saying that. Was I afraid of him? No. He's pretty small. I never worried about myself because I knew I could kick his butt if I really wanted to. I wasn't afraid for myself in that way. But seeing that there was something mentally wrong here, I was worried about that situation. So fast track, it's been a few years, and this person showed up to my co-op this past week to volunteer. Kept my distance. And yet again, I convinced myself that, it's okay, he just wants to be a part of the co-op. And no, it wasn't okay. I had a lot of my friends around me. I was protected. A bunch of my big guy friends were there, totally had my back. And then Thursday night came around, and this person attempted to come to my house again and showed up. And I was home with my family. And, a few minutes of within him coming, I get an email. I get an email saying that, he's outside, isn't sure if he wants to go home or not, that he wants to set up a tent in my front yard and lay with me under the stars and hold my hand, and he wants to come in my house and sleep with me. And I called the neighborhood security, and by the time they got here, he was gone, and HPD, Houston Police Department, showed up. And I filed a case report, and they notified me that if he was to come back or come to my co-op or my work, to call them. Lo and behold, I get another email from him the next day saying, he's so sorry he couldn't come by the house. He would have loved to come by, but he was having a busy day. The next day at co-op, he decided to show up, and he showed up not fully clothed. He was not fully clothed, but he did end up putting on a sweater. And what was weird about this situation is that the moment he did show up, I did call the cops because I didn't feel safe and I felt scared. Not for my life, but for his mental awareness and the fact that I hadn't slept 2 days after that because I was very disturbed that somebody would even think that it was okay for them to come to my house uninvited and say those kinds of things to me with my family around. Not okay. I called the cops, and while we were waiting, there was water. There was a water puddle on one of the tables, and he started washing himself in the dirty vegetable water on the table, started washing his face, took off some of the rest of his clothes, started washing himself with the table water, scrubbed his clothes on the table with the water on it, decided to put his clothes back on, which it's like 100 degrees in Texas right now, and he was wearing a sweater once he put his clothes back on. And then, right after that, took flower petals out of his pockets and decided to start sprinkling them everywhere, including in the fruit and veggie boxes. Was it a little awkward to watch with all of our volunteers there and people? Yes. Was I scared? No, because there were like 30, 40 people around me. And I knew I had a great support team of some of my best friends who came to support me that day. Thank you. And for everybody who sent me messages, thank you. Police took him within 5 minutes. They did ask him a few questions, and they said no doubt within like 5 minutes, they're like, yeah, we're taking him in. He seems to believe that you guys are in a relationship. His Facebook status said that we were in a relationship together. He has so many pictures of me on his Facebook page with inappropriate captions. You know, I'm not going to say inappropriate captions. I'm going to say with captions that were very kind and supportive of me, but knowing this whole situation taken way out of context. So this person stayed in jail for a few days, and even though he was released, they haven't decided what's going to happen just yet. He was pressed with 2 charges. He was pressed with criminal trespassing as well as sexual harassment. He does have a court date, and since this person is from Canada, I do believe that he's not allowed to be in the States. I'm going to reiterate that again. This person came from Canada to see me. Canada. This person came from Canada to see me. I have expressed to this person not to contact me anymore, and I don't think that he will be. This person has been contacted several times by several people and is fully aware that he is not allowed to contact me or to see me ever again. Am I going to file a restraining order? The answer is most likely yes. Not just to him, perhaps a few others as well. I've also been instructed by the HPD and a few other lawyers in this situation that I need to file, I think they called it a peace bar, a peace code, which is 1 step higher than a restraining order. And I do plan to do that. So when he got taken to jail, I did feel much, I don't want to say I felt better, I felt safer. However, I chose not to talk about this in front of everybody the whole week. And I think it ate me alive inside more than it ate anybody else alive inside. We're having a hard time talking about it right now. We are having a hard time talking about it right now. I woke up Saturday morning in complete sweats. My bed was soaked with sweat. It was like 6 in the morning and I couldn't speak. I could not talk. My throat was constricted. And it wasn't until I went down and started talking with my family about it, my friends, actually talking about how I felt. And then I realized that I felt enormous shame and guilt from this situation. Like I had done something wrong, and I've done nothing wrong except for be myself. I felt guilt for putting somebody in jail. I couldn't stop thinking about, like, oh my gosh, I've put this poor human in a jail cell. He's probably crying his eyes out right now. And then I realized that I can't take responsibility for his actions either. And I had to be okay with making a decision that I felt was the right decision and feeling safe for myself and my family. It's okay for me to have boundaries. It's okay for me to love people from afar because the Kristina inside of me wants to love everybody and let everybody into my circle of trust. And I'm such a giver. I will give and give and give. And I made myself feel guilty for putting this guy in jail who completely crossed my boundaries. What was I thinking? I'm learning. I'm learning from all of this how to be okay with having boundaries. I'm sure we can all relate to this. Boundaries aren't easy with everybody. I'm doing much better now. For those of you who have been messaging me, who have been watching my snaps, you'll see that I'm okay, and I'm surrounded by so much love. For every single person who has sent me a message, thank you. I love you. You guys really are the best support team. And what I've learned from this situation is that I choose not to live my life in fear of anything anymore. I'm not going to stop being myself just because I'm afraid of what other people are going to think or how they may act. It's okay for me to be myself and to continue spreading my message of health and love. I'm not going to stop spreading this message because I am afraid. There's a million things to be afraid of, but I choose to live in love. I choose to live in forgiveness. Wherever this person is who got arrested, I forgive him. I'm moving on with my life. And you know what? I bless him, and I hope that he finds some help so that he can go live his life peacefully and maybe perhaps help other people. I'm learning how to forgive myself and to be brave and courageous and move outside of the doors of shame and guilt from this situation because I did nothing wrong. I think it's really important for me to acknowledge that I've touched this person in such a way that he felt inspired and loved and happy to share in a message of health, and somehow he was attracted to me, and I'm truly honored for that because I have put myself out there, and I understand that that's what I'm here to do, is inspire and help other people. I acknowledge all of the good in this situation, and I acknowledge the bad, and I'm working at shifting that into a positive so that I can learn from this situation and so that I can move forward on helping people. I want to thank the Houston Police Department. You guys have been awesome. For every single cop who has called me to see how I'm doing, you guys are the best. I want to thank you for that. I want to thank my family for all of your support in helping me grow through this situation. I want to thank my friends. I want to thank all of you. It's not okay to let people walk all over us, or to cross our boundaries, or for us to make exceptions for things that in our heart we know don't feel right. Pay attention to that little voice in your heart. It doesn't matter what situation it is, but when something doesn't feel right to you, act on it. Don't keep your silence. Say how you feel. Speak up. Help to make this world a better place. We are here to help make this world a better place. There is so much violence and anger and really scary behavior happening in the world right now. And situations like this, real situations like this, happen every single day. And how many people actually stand up to make a difference when stuff like this happens? We need people like you. We need people to take responsibility to help make this world a better place. Speak up. Say how you feel. Let it out. Forgive. Love. Move forward in health. Don't stop living your life. Love. Love, 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 love. Love yourself. Love others. Every single minute, every single day. All right, you guys, I'm sure there's a lot more that can be said from this, but I'm going to leave it at that because I just want to say thank you to everybody who is watching. Thank you for your support. If you guys have appreciated this video, it would mean a lot to me if you gave it a thumbs up. It would also mean a lot to me if you left some supportive comments below. I'll read them. I'll try to respond to as many as I can. And if you guys want to subscribe to my channel, I will still continue to be here spreading a message of health with all of you, sharing my tips, my tricks, my recipes. I'm not going to stop doing what I'm doing because of this incident. I'm probably just going to be inspired to share more. For those of you who want to follow me daily, I'm on Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, and Twitter, and I'm on Snapchat every single day. For more behind the scenes of my life, go watch my snaps. All right, you guys, I'm going to go enjoy the rest of my evening. I love you all. Thank you so much for your support.